Christian, great to see you again. Last time we caught up at the end of last year, we started touching on possible plans for Villa Park and what the future might hold, and I believe you have an update for us today on where things are heading.
Well, it's good to see you, Michelle. Yes, I do. It's been a very busy few months. We've been working with a team of expert advisors on all aspects of the potential redevelopment of our Villa Park Stadium and site. As I explained to our fans before Christmas, this is brought about really for three main reasons. As we try and improve the fortunes of Aston Villa and enable the club to compete at the very highest level, it's vital that we grow our revenue base. Football rules all require spending that is proportionate to revenues, and so to be able to employ the best footballers, we need to grow those revenues, and increasing the size of our stadium is one way to do so. We also find ourselves, and I'm very happy about this, in the position where we have over 22,000 Villa fans on a waiting list who can't get to see their team. And then the final element, very important, is that the FA have announced their desire to host the Euro tournament in 2028. We believe, like many people in England, that it would be unthinkable for Birmingham not to host games in such a globally important tournament. And candidly, Villa Park today wouldn't be able to do so. It requires improvements, it requires refurbishment, it requires expansion to be in a position to host such a tournament. So those have been the three drivers of an enormous amount of work, early design work, to try and come up with a way to solve really three problems. How do we get more people into the ground? How do we get more people able to enjoy hospitality when they're at Villa Park? And how do we improve our ageing retail and commercial buildings? We now have some preliminary designs that achieve those three key objectives. They centre around the north end of our stadium. The north stand itself, our oldest stand, I think we could all agree in significant need of improvement, will be the centrepiece of the first phase of development, essentially replacing the north stand with a new, much larger north stand. We will also be improving Trinity, particularly those hospitality areas within the Trinity stand. And then finally, our goal is to build an entirely new retail, commercial, multi-purpose building in the north stand car park end of the stadium to enable us to provide a more 21st century experience for our customers in retail, in merchandise, in hospitality, and a whole range of other activities that have the goal of making Villa Park not a destination for 19 days a year, but a destination for 365 days a year.
So it sounds like it'll be on a par with some of the best venues, international football venues that are out there. You mentioned the north stand there, almost rebuilding it completely. Is that the sort of plan, and what would that mean to the football club?
It is a complete rebuild of the north stand, and that will itself enable us to achieve the primary objective of a substantial increase in capacity. These plans, this first phase plans, are designed to move us from 42,000 to just over 50,000 fans in this first phase, and the north stand enables us to do that. It is actually today quite a small stand. It doesn't reach the corners of the stadium and is a very, very out-of-date design. So I'm sure this will be immediately on fans' mind. Such is construction technology today that we do not envisage disruption to our playing season. So we're able to contemplate those works while continuing to play in the stadium with very limited disruption, and certainly no disruption to our Premier League season.
But Villa Park is a very distinctive stadium. It's got a lot of heritage for everyone that's been coming here for years and years. It's going to be important to sort of retain, I guess, the aesthetics of the stadium. So what are the plans to keep that, but also move forward and modernise facilities?
Well, you've said it, Michelle. We want a design, we want a project that really pays homage to the great traditions of this football club and of this iconic stadium. The designs should be sympathetic to that, whilst also allowing for modernisation and making sure that our stadium is fit for the 21st century as well. I can be absolutely clear to everybody listening that those thoughts are at the top of our mind, and although the work is preliminary, and we're going to talk about how we get our fans' feedback on these thoughts. Sympathy with the stadium, sympathy with this great and proud city and region are key inputs to the design.
And the football club really is at the heart of the community, and it's important that it retains that as well. What will this mean, not just the stadium, but the other redevelopment plans around the outside of the stadium? What will that mean to the region?
Well, I think it's important to pick up on that point, Michelle, that we don't operate in isolation. Yes, we've got Villa Park, we've got a site that is blessed with quite convenient, a quite convenient layout and topography that enables us to think about these expansion plans on our own land. But we don't operate in isolation. We sit in the middle of a proud community. We see this project as being a powerful tool for regeneration of the areas immediately around us. And yes, it is also true that many of the infrastructure aspects surrounding our stadium will need significant improvement to make this project viable. I'm thinking particularly and obviously of our public transport links. We have, interestingly, until last season's Brentford Stadium opened, we have the nearest station to a Premier League stadium in the country. But as all our fans will attest, it is small, it's poorly serviced by the frequency of trains, the scale of trains, and the size of the station itself is simply not right today for 42,000 fans. So it goes without saying that in contemplating an expansion to over 50,000 fans, we need the local infrastructure to match the development here. Let me say, Michelle, that multi-stakeholder aspect of this project has been keeping us very busy indeed. Local politicians, national politicians, regional authorities in the key areas of transport and infrastructure, the local council, and I could not be more encouraged by the reaction, the constructiveness of those conversations, and the sense everybody feels of the excitement around this project and the importance of this project to Aston, to Birmingham, to the West Midlands, and to this country. That's the scale of this project in terms of the numbers of people who have a stake in it.
And because of that scale, the planning application is going to be key. When will that be submitted?
Well, we're in the early design stages, and we would expect the final planning application to go in during late summer this year.
So all being well, let's say planning is granted, when would you expect construction to the North Stand to begin, and what sort of timescale would you be looking at from them?
We think the overall build line for the three modules I've described, North Stand, Trinity refurbishment and the commercial building, is between 18 and 24 months from commencement. So with a problem-free planning consent, all the externalities falling in place, all in a 2-year timeline from the application.
Can you tell us a bit more about the fan engagement survey? Obviously that's a really important part of what's going on.
Yes, it is. So I'd like all our fans to really engage in a wide-ranging survey that we will be commissioning on really all aspects of the fan experience at Villa Park, from all points of view, from getting in and out of the stadium, the in-stadium experience, anything and everything that our fans have observed over the years that they like and don't like about Villa Park. These inputs from fans will play an important role in the early stages of design and coming up with a workable set of plans ultimately that represent the design that goes into planning. And we encourage all our fans to take the time to participate. I've already met with the fan consultation groups who represent all sections of our fan community last Thursday evening and shared with them this update, and that process of really engaging with our supporters now kicks off and is a crucial part of what we're trying to do.
And the club has stated this work is the first phase of the redevelopment plan. What can you tell us about future phases? Well,
yes, the first phase is a new North Stand, significant enhancements within Trinity, and this new commercial building in the North Stand car park. We also, over time, will be looking at Holt and at Doug Ellis stands. We want to have a really good look at safe standing at the right moment. We note other clubs are already up and running, and certainly taking a 10-year view, Michelle, then we would expect even more capacity above that 50,000 level, and secondly, that by the end of that 10-year development phase, all sides of the ground will have had meaningful refurbishment.
Well, it all sounds really exciting, so I look forward to seeing how it plays out. Thanks for your time, Christian.
Thank you very much.